Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Crime Time with DutyRon. And guys and girls, I'm a retired New York City police detective with over 20 years of experience in the law enforcement game. And if you like all things true crime related from the police perspective, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll get all things DutyRon and Ed Wallace when he's available, when we go live or upload another video. Today I want to talk about Quinton Simon. 1 month ago, he was reported missing by his family. We still have no answers, and here we are 30 days later. Hey, I want to say a special thank you to the Patreon supporters, the channel members, and all the folks who positively engage in all of these videos that we create. You guys are what makes it a great place, and I give thanks and praise along with Ed Wallace to each and every one of you. So I want to say thank you to the moderators, the replay viewers, and everybody who comes and joins the conversation. It's always important to hear all sides of everyone's stories and feelings and experiences. And that's what we have going on here. So I want to say thank you to Mama Griffin for being here. Brandy, it's good to see you. Hi, Lexi. Hi, Teresa, Manuel, Sharon. Great to see you from Charleston, South Carolina. Beautiful place. Brenda, always a pleasure to see you. Single Mama 4, and everybody. Alicia B joining in. Listen, Chatham County, Georgia, the police department, not a large-scale police department, but they have a large-scale search going on for Quinton Simon. They believe he was taken to a specific dumpster and placed in a dumpster and brought, unbeknownst to the waste management company, to a landfill some distance away from his home and dumped as garbage. And they are still, as we speak, out there with the FBI, with state, local, and federal partners searching for Quinton. And I got to tell you, I looked on their Twitter feed, and there's an actual photo, a banner. It's not even a photo, it's a banner on the side of, Ed Wallace and I showed the aerial footage from the landfill. By a show of hands in the chat, who remembers us showing that landfill footage, and we broke down the forensics part of the search at the landfill for Quinton? They have on one of the sheds that they have there, a big full-size banner of a photo of Quinton Simon. That's how invested our law enforcement partners are in these things. And we saw this with the press conference on Monday over at the Delphi case. We saw police superintendents show emotion. There's nothing different about this case. The men and women who are involved in searching and finding justice and finding out what happened to Quinton Simon are not only invested on the law enforcement side and the justice side, but in the heart and in their hearts. They're invested. So they're looking for answers just as much as we want those answers. So the Chatham County PD has said that they believe that Quinton was placed, as I said, in a dumpster 30 days ago and taken to a landfill unknowingly by waste management workers. The news outlet WTOC, who is reporting on this, continues to follow the case and will update you guys as things develop. But I wanted to take you back to where this all began. And thank you to everybody that's here. Dr. Ed Moskowitz and Julie, thank you for being here. Rachel, thank you for checking in from New Zealand. Kia, Aura, always great to see you. Kia ora, as my good friend Louise Poppy says in New Zealand, she says, Kia ora. So hello to all of my New Zealand friends and everybody across the globe checking in. I saw Karen, Legal Minded Friends, come on in. AGAT, Agati, thank you so much for being here. Marilyn, Jen Bell, Texas, checking in. I wanted to take you back to the beginning. Hello from Florida, Kelly Reese, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Lieutenant Pete Pranzo, and of course, his better half, Richella, is there. Always checking in. When there's one, there's the other. So I wanted to take you back to the beginning. So this story starts on September 7th of 2022. Police reports show that Quinton's mother called police after a reported domestic dispute with her grandmother, right? We all know Billy Joel Howell, right? She had a dispute. Leilani had a dispute with her mother on September 7th. Quinton was still alive at this time. She had a dispute, and she did not press charges against her mother. We don't know what that dispute is because we don't have the access to the records. Quinton's grandmother told police on the scene she was thinking about kicking her daughter and her boyfriend out of the home. This is September 7th. So why I'm telling you this is showing that there was a volatile relationship, whether it was because of use of drugs and alcohol or all of the above. This just shows that there was not a good relationship going on in that household. Okay. So that was September. September 8th, Quinton's grandmother, Billy Howell, filed paperwork to evict the couple. So it got so bad that Leilani's mother, her own flesh and blood, wanted her out of the house. Drug usage, arguments, not contributing, all of the above. That's September 8th. Okay. Don't forget this incident where she reported her son missing October 5th. So this is just about a month prior to this going down. So she files paperwork on September 8th. On September 26th, Leilani Simon receives her eviction notice. So apparently in Georgia, the eviction process, unlike here in New York, it's quick and it happened very rapidly. So she receives the eviction notice on the 26th of September. September 28th, the Chatham County judge, Lisa Colbert, orders Quinton's mother, that's Leilani, to start paying child support for Quinton and his older sibling. Quinton's grandmother had sole custody of both the children. That order came at exactly a week before little baby Quinton Simon meets his demise. Because the reason I use that terminology is because the police and the authorities who are searching for him have declared him dead. Let me say that again. Quinton Simon is dead, according to the authorities. That's September 28th. October 5th, Quinton Simon last seen at 6 a.m. At some point in the morning, Quinton's grandmother says his mother, Leilani, called off the babysitter. I believe that was around 5:30 a.m. And she reports her son missing at 9:30 in the morning. Now, I took a couple of extra notes. She tried to say to responding police, and this is documented, Leilani said that she woke up and that the front door was open and that she believed that someone took her son. But then she doubled down and she said to the reporting officers, I don't know if it was right then there on the scene or a short time later, she tried to pin it on the biological father. He was 22 years old. He's 22 years old, the biological dad, and he was in a different state. He wasn't even in the state of Georgia, you know? So she did everything to deflect from her. She did one of these. He did it. She did it. She took no responsibility or blame. Hello from New Zealand. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. I'm going to get to the chat in a few minutes. Thank you to the moderators for keeping an eye on the chat. So that was October 5th. October 6th, the very next day, police confirmed that they obtained a search warrant for Quinton's grandmother's home where the young boy was living, 20 months old. So not even 24 hours went by and the police went to a judge and they got a search warrant, and a judge signed a search warrant to search the home. October 5th, she makes the report. October 6th, police, the very next day, confirmed that they obtained a search warrant for Quinton's grandmother's home where he was living. October 7th, Chatham County Police release a tip hotline for Quinton's case. The Chatham County Police Chief, Jeff Hadley, says that they are still searching and foul play at this point is not expected. That's October 7th. October 10th, 3 days later, police searched the home again and they drained the family's backyard pool. 40, let me count that, 40 FBI agents were assisting in this search. On October 10th, this became a full-scale multi-agency on the federal, state, and local level because they had very, very strong information at that point. When you have 40, count it, 40 FBI agents assisting in the search, that's when we saw them put up those garbage bags that Ed Wallace and I talked about on the outside of that window outside the house that faces out the street. Thank you so much for the super love. That comes in from my good friend Sanna Elise Hof Johnson from Norway. Thank you for the $9 Norwegian. Always a pleasure to have you here, and thank you for the support. Kyle Chemtech, thank you for becoming a channel member. Appreciate that, Kyle. So let me continue now. October 10th, 5 days after, everything is progressing very quickly. 5 days after she makes this report, 40 FBI agents swarm the house. They are seen with fire department vehicles pumping out the pool, assisting in the search. October 11th, the next day, police announced that they have seized evidence that they believe would help move the case forward and a criminal investigation is possible. Now, let me tell you something. October 10th, 40 FBI agents and multiple other agencies are on the scene doing the second search at that home. And the very next day, this case turns criminal. You might ask yourself, why did that happen? Because that's when they obtained the evidence that they needed to make this determination that this case is criminal. October 12th, 1 day later, the Chatham County Police Department and the FBI notify Quinton's family that they believe he is dead. October 12th, police name his mother, Leilani, as the prime suspect in his disappearance and death. Let me say it again. October 12th of 2022, the Chatham County Police Department and the FBI notify, it's not just the Chatham County Police, it's the FBI along with the police department locally. They notify the family that they believe Quinton is dead. Police name his mother, Leilani, as the prime suspect in his disappearance and death. Now, this is causing a lot of people in the public, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, on social media, this is causing the public to get raised up in public alarm. If they're naming her as the prime suspect, why is she not arrested? I know that you all have that question. I know that that's what everybody is talking about. But listen, look at some of these other cases. Look at Harmony Montgomery. Look at Orrin and Orson West, Sincere and Classic from Bakersfield, California. It took police over a year to get the probable cause to put the responsible parties for the murders of Orrin and Orson West, Sincere and Classic. 1 whole year it took them to get them into custody. Adam Montgomery is now standing charges of murder of his daughter, Harmony Montgomery. Kayla Montgomery turned on Adam because she was being choked out by investigators. She was being interviewed and interrogated. Let me tell you something, folks. Thank you for that $10 super chat. I appreciate it. That comes in from Murdy Candy Podcast. Thank you. Yes, I'll discuss that briefly because, listen, again, there's a lot of jagaloonism going on behind this, but all of the white noise, let me just say, I'll address it real quick. All of the white noise that's going on and the jumping up and down and the acting like fools, all of that child's behavior by adults gets us no closer to finding out and getting justice for Quinton Simon. There is no sugarcoating it, there's no sidestepping it. If you're going to jump up and down and act like a fool, you are not getting us anywhere closer to justice. The only people that could get us closer to justice is the investigators that are working very hard on this case behind the scenes and not acting like a fool and not making a public display and not pointing to judgment and saying we're going to hog tie and drag Leilani Simon in before we have enough for probable cause to effect a lawful arrest, not an arrest on emotions. They need to get probable cause so the arrest sticks. Why drag somebody in when they're just going to be released? If you don't have everything to seal the deal, you get one chance at it. You can't F that up. All right. So fast forward October 12th. The local police department, the FBI, notified a family and they believe that Quinton is dead. Police name his mother as the prime suspect of his death. That was October 12th. October 13th, police hold a press conference with the FBI and they confirm Quinton's body has not been found and his mother is the only suspect at this time and no arrests have been made. October 13th, ladies and gentlemen. Fast forward to October 22nd. 4 people arrested outside of Quinton Simon's home. Police say they were called out twice that night on October 21st to 525 Buckhalter Road for complaints of people being disorderly. That's disorderly conduct. It's a violation, and in some places it's a misdemeanor, depending on where you are in the country. Disorderly conduct here in New York is a summonsable offense, but in other parts of the country and other states, local ordinances and local laws can make it a misdemeanor. Okay? Blocking vehicular and pedestrian traffic is disorderly conduct and is a summonsable offense in New York City. However, if you go out to Nassau County within the state of New York or Suffolk County and you commit that same crime, it's a misdemeanor and you spend the night in jail. So that's my point on that. Okay. So they get complaints because people are acting like fools, disturbing the peace, blocking vehicular and pedestrian traffic, blocking, a driveway from not letting cars get in and out and so forth, knocking on people's homes. If you knock on someone's house and you go onto their property, it's trespassing. It's a misdemeanor. If you start knocking on windows and making threats and things of that nature that you're going to beat someone up or going to kill somebody, that's a crime as well. And depending on what state you're in, it's punishable by different guises of the law in the particular county or state that you're in. Okay, 3 people were blocking the driveway of the toddler's home, preventing people from being able to leave, according to the officers. A 4th person was arrested on the 23rd for banging on the windows, and here you go, and doors of the missing toddler's home. Nobody should be doing that. That is ridiculous behavior. And, they're lucky that the local police there are being nice about it because they could probably go out there and make arrests on a regular basis, probably daily there. But listen, these guys are trying to find out what happened to this kid. So is anybody getting this? Local resources, every time they have to respond to out in front of that home, what is it taking them away from? I'll let you guys answer it in the chat. If the police get called out to Buckhalter Road every day, twice a day, or 5 times a day, what does it take them off of? I'll let you guys answer it. What does it take the police resources away from? Searching for this boy. Thank you, Tara. I'll highlight yours because I saw it first. Tara Ellis gets the prize. It takes away from finding Quinton Simon. All right. So that's October 24th. Quinton's mom 1 day later. So all of this stuff is happening 23rd, 22nd, 23rd, now 24th. After the arrests happen, the next day, this continues. This nonsense and buffoonery continues. Quinton's mother, Leilani Simon, and her grandmother, Billy Howell, talked to the press about people harassing them and going as far as leaving signs that say things like baby killer, and on Quinton's memorial, which they say disrespects his memory. Even with the attention since Quinton went missing, Leilani said she wants everyone to know that she's not running away. That was that famous interview. Leilani said that she and her mother spend the days in their backyard of their home because it's too difficult to be inside with reminders of Quinton inside the home and the fact that he's gone. Now, a lot of people said that that was, alligator tears and so forth and things of that nature. But, again, we have a situation going on where law enforcement is in a landfill Monday through Friday searching for Quinton Simon. And I got to tell you, it's a difficult process. It's a difficult task to go and search through garbage at a landfill for a little boy. Everybody is upset over this. There's not one person that is happy about this in Chatham County. There's not one law enforcement branch. There's not one person from the fire and EMS that's happy with it. There's nobody from the FBI that's happy about this. We're talking about a 20-month-old little innocent baby. This is something about this big. That's what you're looking for amongst garbage. That's a shame in itself. But I want to just show you quickly. I took some screenshots, so I want to just show you quick and read to you. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, here we go. All right. So this is straight from the Chatham County Police Department. This is on their Twitter. You guys could go over onto their Twitter. I'll link it down below. It says 4 weeks ago today. This was just today. They posted this. We received a call that would spark the largest search and most far-reaching investigation in the history of Chatham County Police Department. It was the call that little Quinton Simon was missing. The landfill search has been a task more grueling than anyone could ever imagine. And we would like to thank the dedication of the CCPD, the FBI, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, and the Chatham County Sheriff's Office. All the personnel who have gone to that site day after day, determined to find the remains of Quinton and find answers. We would also like to thank the many people, both here and home and around the world. That's you people. That's you people that have offered support and encouragement during this last 4 weeks. We appreciate every word and act of kindness for our department and everyone who is working hard on this case. Stand by. Hold on. We just lost it. All right. And everyone that's working hard on this case. Chatham County Police Department sent out their thank yous to you, the people who are supporting them and standing behind them and saying, hey, let's get this done. Let's bring justice for Quinton Simon. That message was sent out to the good citizens of the United States and abroad in the outside of the United States. So the Chatham County Police Department, stand up. In this message on Twitter that you guys can all go and see. Let me just see if they've updated anything. But you guys could go over to Twitter and just search for Chatham County Police Department, and you're going to look in their Twitter feed, and it's right there. It's right at the top of their feed. Chatham County Fire Department, Chatham County Parks Department and Recreation, Chatham County Occupational Safety and Waste Management. They thanked everybody. But I want to read again over to you, the good people that are here. This is coming from the police chief. We would also like to thank you, the many people, both here, home, and around the world, who have offered support, encouragement during the last 4 weeks. We appreciate every word and act of kindness for our police department and everyone who is working so hard on this case. So that's coming straight from them on Twitter. So kudos to everyone that is supporting your local and worldwide police departments, because unbeknownst to some of the people who are trying to tear these men and women down, who are doing God's work, who are out there doing what needs to be done, I appreciate each and every one of you who support the men and women in blue. That's my emergency service truck shirt from the September 11th. So I got this shirt right after September 11th, this sweatshirt, and I wear it when the weather gets a little cooler here. So this is a shirt that's talking about the emergency services unit, the New York City Police Department. So I wanted to do that and say thank you to each and every one of you for supporting the men and women in blue who are out there every day searching for this little boy. They want to bring him home. They want justice to be served. And let me tell you something. If Leilani is responsible for this, she will be under arrest. But until that time happens, you're innocent until proven guilty. And if you're not proven guilty in this country, in the United States, you're presumed innocent. And as much as we don't like what she has been alleged to be, what it's alleged that she did to this boy, right? Doesn't give us the right to go and accuse her of a crime that she's not been convicted of yet. I don't like the fact of anybody that's out there that is a baby killer. I don't like that one bit. But we can't be vigilantes. We cannot be jagaloons or go out in a mob mentality and tackle somebody, hog tie him, and drag him into the precinct just because we don't like him. Denise Perez, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Again, we talk about our amendments, the right to freedom of speech, the right to assemble, but we also have a presumption of innocent until proven guilty. And that's something that I have to emphasize here. But we see this in a lot of the cases where everybody jumps and the court of public opinion and the court of public trial by the public, it always doesn't work out. So I want to just say thank you to everybody who positively engages. And if you're not yet subscribed to Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace, hit that red subscribe button. It's somewhere around here. Hit the notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up. We all want to see justice served here in this case, but unfortunately, we need to be patient. We need to be patient, but we need to act like adults. We have to say to ourselves, for this process to happen, it can't be done by us. We cannot go out and make this arrest and collect the evidence. It's up to them to do it. So in the meantime, while this is happening, again, Chatham County Police Department says we'd like to thank all the people locally here at home and around the world who have offered support and encouragement during these last 4 weeks. We appreciate every word and act of kindness for our police department and everyone who is working so hard on this case. Remember that, and I'm going to leave you with that. I want to say thank you to the Patreon supporters, the channel members, the folks who sent super chats that I might have missed here, and some of the great comments that are coming through. And for those of you who, you don't have to agree with what I'm saying. I'm just telling you this because this is how it goes. This is how the process goes. To get justice in America, you need law enforcement to make a summary arrest. We need a true bill indictment after the summary arrest. And then you need a trial and either a guilty or a non-guilty verdict. So that's how it goes here. Some people don't have a real good grasp of that and they get a little bit sidetracked. Christina09 says, instead of giving people money to the protesters, making money off this, something horrible should happen. Remember, people support this case for justice. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, Christine09. Appreciate that. Listen, everybody's an adult. I'm not here to, go and point fingers at the way people are acting. Listen, every case that we cover on YouTube, look at all the true crime cases, right? Look at Summer Wells. Look at what happened in that case. The buffoonery and the craziness, it was beyond reproach. It was beyond disgusting. I call it gross, right? That circus atmosphere is now going on over here. But listen, it happened in Bakersfield, California, and California City. Don't you remember? There was people that got arrested behind Orrin and Orson West because they were out in front of people's houses and they were fighting with each other. Can anybody in the chat remember Sincere and Classic, Orrin and Orson West? It was in California City, and there was YouTube people who started fighting with each other, and one or two of them got arrested. Talking about arrests here in front of Quinton's home, where this kid was murdered. What good does that do? How does that help solve the case? Disorderly conduct. How does that solve a case? Two YouTube people fighting and getting arrested in Orrin and Orson West in the boys' case. I think it was this guy, his name was Doug, I think his name was, that got arrested because he was fighting or threatening the guy who had the cameras that recorded the backyard in California City. Who does that? Ridiculous. Jagaloonism 101. We don't do it here. We don't do it. Listen, I spent 20 years, 2 decades of my life as a public servant, serving the citizens and the people of the city of New York. I risked my life. I put my life on the line for 20 years. Okay, nobody put a gun up to my head and forced me to be a police officer. But in that time, in that 20 years, I responded to the World Trade Center in 1993. I responded to the World Trade Center attack in 2001. I responded to numerous shootings, numerous rapes, numerous robberies, numerous home invasions, numerous car accidents, numerous scenes of multiple deaths. I had 2,200 murders happen the very first year I took the oath and swore to be a police officer. In the first year I was a cop, look it up. 1991, New York City, 2,200 murders in the city alone. These cases don't get solved by themselves. They don't get solved by themselves. It gets solved by hard work. I've missed many Christmas, many Thanksgivings, many birthdays, many celebrations, many things with my family. I'm not going to act like an idiot in my retired life. I'm not going to engage in acting like idiots and fools like we're seeing outside of all of these cases that we cover that involve. And the unfortunate part is you see this buffoonery when it involves a little kid, Summer Wells, a little young girl, Orrin and Orson West, little young baby boys, 2 brothers. Now Quinton Simon, a 20-month-old baby, and you got grown adults acting like fools. It's terrible. It's terrible. Anyways, I am praying and I'm hoping that the police come up with a resolution. They come up with his remains. They come up with a recovery of anything that will bring us to a resolution. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you. I'm glad that I just reminded myself. Let me just put the, hold on a second. So this is the photo that I was telling you about at the landfill. Let me make sure I got it right. Okay, so over here, you can see it's a big full-size picture of Quinton. And that's right out the landfill. I'm hoping that comes through okay. Let me know if you guys could see that in the chat. So this is a picture out at the landfill with a picture, a big full-size picture of this boy as they're searching for him. That's what dedication is, and that's who's getting the job done. Not a bunch of fools that are fighting with each other and carrying on like little children. This is what's getting it done. And this is what's going to get it done. All right, guys and girls, I appreciate you listening to me for 35 minutes. If you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing to Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace. I appreciate you all coming and hanging out with us. I'll link all of this stuff down below in the description. I'm going to link this all down below in the description of this video, so you guys can actually see it for yourself. All you got to do is go over to Twitter, go to Chatham County Police Department's Twitter, and look at their Twitter feed, and you could see all of this stuff in living color. So yeah, thank you guys all for hanging out. And as I always like to end these live streams, God bless the world. God bless the United States of America. And God bless each and every one of us here in the chat. But especially these tiny victims, Quinton Simon, Harmony Montgomery, Summer Wells, Sincere and Classic, Little Monkey, Michael Vaughn, and then the list goes on and on and on. Dylan Rounds, 19 years old. There is just so many of them out there. Aiden Clune, we still don't know what happened to him. I could sit here for hours reading the names off to you guys. But thank you for your support, for your positivity, for your goodness. Thank you for being good people. You guys are awesome. And I thank you for being here and supporting great communities like this. I'll see you guys soon. Peace and love.